Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video here on my own personal YouTube channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today in this video. It's always very much appreciated. Roasting hot weather last weekend made it really pretty much impossible to record videos here at Newman Towers, so it was just a matter of sitting back, watching Royal Ascot and enjoying the racing. And now we're heading to the final week of June 2025, and the upcoming classic this week is the Irish Derby, held at the Curragh, where the current UK Derby winner Lambourn is currently the odds-on favourite to take out the Derby double. Can Classic Watch stop Lambourn this time? Time will tell. But what we're going to do today is we're going to keep taking a look at more classics, yet more classic reviews taking place today. We're still focusing really on May 2025 and the first day of this month, June 2025. We're going to show you, I think we've got 6 classics for you, I think. We're going to take a look at the Preakness Stakes, the second classic in the US. We're also going to take a look at the Irish 2,000 and 1,000 guineas, the first look at the Irish classics this year in the review section. We're also going to rejoin the Japanese Classic Road and take a look at the Japanese Oaks and the Japanese Derby, as well as the French Derby, which was held at Chantilly on the 1st of June. We're then going to leave it there, and we'll hopefully be back in the 7th for the classic review of the UK Oaks and Derby on the 7th of June, which will start the next review. So the 6 races, like we said, we're going to start. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the races. We're going to watch the races. Then, as in the usual fashion, I'm going to give the result, and then we will take a look at how the Classic Watch 25 horses performed in the said classics. The website first, though, classicwatch25.great/site.net is where people will be able to find all these horses. You will see that the Roll of Honour now really is gathering momentum. There hasn't been much added in the past week, it's fair to say, with it being Royal Ascot. We've got Australian horses leading the way all the way from August. And we've got Japanese trained horses, USA trained horses, UK trained horses, Irish, French as well. We're still hoping maybe to get the odd German trained horse on there if the right horse presents itself. It hasn't so far as of yet, but I am certainly looking out there. Right, we're going to start now, I think, by reviewing the first race of this session, and it is the Preakness Stakes, the second of the US Classics, the race held at Pimlico Park, which is in Maryland. Classic Watch 25 had 2 horses running for it. It had Sandman, who is back for more after finishing, I think, 6th in the Kentucky Derby. And we also chanced Clever Again in the lead up to the Preakness, another Coolmore horse who had managed to take a race out. And we also, they were the only 2 that we had in the Preakness. So let's take a look at the Preakness Stakes now via bloodhorse.com, and then we'll see what we think.
In the gate. And they're off. Seems a perfect start in the 150th running of the Preakness Stakes, and Clever Again is wasting no time and put right on the lead with that speed. Goal Oriented on the inside, takes back just slightly. Gosker's up on the outside. Gosker runs to second. Goal Oriented settles into the rail in third. American Promises in fourth. River Thames is fifth, only 4 lengths off for speed. Into the clubhouse turn they roll. Here is Journalism. Journalism's on the inside, 4 lengths from the front runner, around the first turn and past the 7/8 pull. River Thames on the outside of that. Here's Pay Billy just off that pair, followed by Heart of Honor, and Sandman is last of the runners. About 13 lengths will cover front to back. 6 furlongs left to go, and Clever Again in control of the pace in the Preakness. Leads Gosker. The opening quarter was soft, the half in 46 3/5 of a second, and so Clever Again, a length lead Clever again from Gosker in second. On the outside, River Thames moves to third. Goal Oriented is racing in fourth. American Promise is in fifth. Umberto Rispoli is getting after Journalism right now into the far turn run. Has 5.5 to make up. The leader's still Clever again. And Sandman is trying to unwind, but third last at this point. And Pay Billy and trailing the field is Heart of Honor. They are midway on the turn. And Gosker runs alongside now to Clever again to contest the lead. And Journalism is moving through on the inside. Slight steady, little bit of traffic, but Journalism is trying to box on through. Very tight still is Journalism. Gosker's come away with a lead. A lot of bumping going on as Clever again steadied and shuffled back. Journalism shifted in. Here's Sandman on the outside trying to run on. Journalism has recovered. Journalism has recovered and is coming. Journalism is sensational run despite traffic. Gosker was second, then Sandman third, and Goal Oriented fourth in the 150th running of the Preakness Stakes at historic Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore.
Well, what a truly incredible race that was. It's fair to say, bumper cars, dodgems, all down the track. A truly incredible race to start the video with there. The second US Classic of the year, the Preakness Stakes. It was won after a fair bit of barging by the Kentucky Derby runner-up Journalism, trained by Michael McCarthy, ridden by Umberto Rispoli, and sired by Curlin out of a dam called Mopetism, I'm going to say that is actually who herself is out of Uncle Mo. And Journalism ran to a Racing Post rating of 121. Second place in the Preakness was Gosker, sired by Nyquist, out of a dam called Gloria S, who herself is out of Tappet. Gosker trained by Brandon Walsh, out and ridden on the day by Louis Saez, running to a mark of 118. And third on the day, classic placed, the best Classic Watch 25 possible on the day, Sandman, securing his first classic placed effort of the year. Sandman, sired by Tappet, out of Distorted Music, who is out of Distorted Humour, trained by Mark Cass and ridden by John Velasquez. Sandman running to a Racing Post rating of 113. The other Classic Watch horse, Clever again, could only finish last, sadly, running to a mark of 56, beaten by 30.5 lengths. The Coolmore horse, trained by Stephen Asmussen and ridden by Jose L. Ortiz. It was a shame not to take that one out. Sovereignty never turned up. Sandman did well to finish third. An interesting race there. You'll see Sandman. He was rated 116 when he took out the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby in 2025. That run there rated £3 lower than it, 113. But another solid run for finishing third in a classic. Sandman was not sixth in the Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, the horse, my mistake, was seventh. But yeah, an interesting horse, Sandman. And Clever again from the Preakness. Well, hasn't really worked out for that horse. That horse only beat one home last week as well in the Grade 3 Ohio Derby at Thistledown after finishing ninth that day, running to a mark of 56. The horse allocated a mark of 116 when beating Gaming by 4 lengths in a listed race in March. Conditions race, Hot Spring Stakes. But yeah, it's not looking like the finest hour of Classic Watch 25 identifying this horse at the moment. Winchell Thoroughbreds owned Coolmore invested horse. Clever again. Right, we're going to skip forward now. I think we're going to skip forward a week, maybe a day. 17th that was. No, it's definitely a week. And we're going to take a look at the next classic now, which took place on Saturday the 24th, the afternoon. And then we're going to take a look now at the Irish 2,000 guineas. This race looked a good opportunity at the start for Classic Watch 25 possible and UK Guineas third, Field of Gold, to make his mark and secure a classic. The two ahead of him, two around him that day, Ruling Court and Shadow of Light, never turned up to the UK, the Irish Guineas. We did have another two running for us though, Classic Watch 25, Scorthy Champ, well beaten in the UK Guineas, was having another go in the Irish Guineas. And we also had another possible from the Coolmore Yard in Officer. All right, let's take a look at the Irish 2,000 guineas now, and then we will see what we think.
9 runners lined up. They're off. They break away in the Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas over 1 mile. And as they begin, hot as hell in the centre, with close up on the white cap Windlord. To the inside, Reshabar with Officer in between horses, followed by Comanche Brave. As they settle down, they're tracked by Cosmic Year in the green cap. Expanded next with Scorthy Champ, and held up as the grey Field of Gold. As they make the elbow, and Windlord has been taken to the front by Chris Hayes, and they go on to lead Reshabar and Sean Levy disputing second place with Hot as Hell and Shane Foley. Just fourth is Officer and Ryan Moore from Comanche Brave and Gavin Ryan, and then Cosmic Year and Oisin Murphy expanded up the inner for Wayne Lord, and then Field of Gold, Colin Keane, who've just relegated Scorthy Champ and Dylan Brown McMonigal to be the back markers. They've just passed the halfway stage, and it is Windlord leading a stacking field. From Reshabar, Hot as Hell, they're together second and third. Comanche Brave is just edging the fourth from Officer, and to the outside is Field of Gold, and then expanded Cosmic Year and Scorthy Champ. 2.5 furlongs from home, and continuing in front is Windlord from Hot as Hell. Reshabar, Field of Gold makes continued headway down the outside of Comanche Brave, followed then by Officer, and swooping is Field of Gold on the outside, has come from well off the pace to go away with the Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas. It is Field of Gold, and Colin Keane well clear is going to atone for Newmarket, and the Irish 2,000 guineas. A brilliant winner, Field of Gold. From second place was Cosmic Year. Good result for Judd Mon. Hot as Hell, Reshabar came next.
Well, hello everybody. So some of these classics can be more straightforward than others. It is fair to say that one, the Irish 2,000 guineas this year, was fairly straightforward. It's fair to say. Very good performance there from the Classic Watch 25 horse, Field of Gold. Like the commentator said, making amends for what happened to him at Newmarket when he's arguably received one of the worst rides in the history of horse racing from jockey Kieran Schumacher, who was subsequently sacked by the Gosden operation following his ride at Newmarket in the aftermath of that. Jockey Colin Keane has certainly got the job done for them today. Field of Gold, the winner of the Irish 2,000 guineas, sired by Kingman, out of a dam called Princess Daloon, who herself was out of Shamadale. The even money favourite, trained by John and Thady Gosden in the UK and ridden on the day by the Irish champion jockey Colin Keane. And the horse ran to a racing post rating of 125. Comfortable 3 1/4 lengths winner to the Juddmonte second string, Cosmic Year, trained in the UK by Harry Charlton and ridden by Oisin Murphy. A 1-2 for Juddmonte sire Kingman in the Irish 2,000 guineas. This horse out of a dam called Passage of Time, who people might remember on the track herself, who herself was sired by Dan Silly. And Cosmic Year running to a mark of 114. And in third place, we had Hot as Hell, the first Irish trained horse home in the race, the Too Darn Hot sired Hot as Hell. Group 1 winner last year at 2, sired, like I said, by Too Darn Hot out of a dam called Azenzar, who herself was out of Daniel Dancer. Hot as Hell trained by Jessica Harrington, ridden by Shane Foley, and ran to a racing post rating of 112. The other horses we're going to take a look at finished 6th and 7th. Scorthy Champ finished 6th, the Group 1 winner, sired by Memas out of Fidaha. Scorthy Champ ran to a mark of 108, trained by Joseph O'Brien and ridden by Dylan Brown McMonigal. I thought Officer was quite disappointed on the day to only finish 7th, sired by Jubawi out of Hydrangea, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Ryan Moore. Officer could only run on the day to a racing post rating of 105. And that was a good opportunity for the horse if he was good enough on the day, I think. But unfortunately, the horse wasn't. Well beaten on the day by 7 3/4 lengths. Field of Gold has subsequently gone from strength to strength. The victory by 3.5 lengths over Henry Matisse at Royal Ascot in what really was a Classic Watch 25 benefit race. Full of classic winners, a 131 rating, that performance. So Field of Gold really has kicked on this year, hasn't he? 107 was his best rating at 2, and now he's already up to 131. And has also finished second in a Classic, won a Classic, and has also won at Royal Ascot. What a fantastic horse. Swarthy Champ hasn't been seen since the Irish Guineas. He did improve. He only ran 105 in the UK Guineas when finishing 7th. The Racing Post decided to give him a rating of 108 for finishing one place better, 6th in the Irish Guineas, but still half a stone off his 113 he got when winning the National Stakes last year, Group 1 winner in Ireland, where the horse actually did beat Henri Matisse. But it's not really happened this year for Swarthy Champ so far, has it? Officer on the day is another one, really. He's had a run since Royal Ascot. The horse Officer can only finish 5th out of 7. Beaten 10.5 lengths this time by Field of Gold in the St James's Palace, where again, the horse ran to a mark of 105, similar to mark he was given to the Irish Guineas, but yeah, again, behind the 112 he was given when he beat Coerwood in a listed race in May, the Tetrock Stakes. So yeah, again, fairly disappointing, it has to be said, Officer, in his 2 subsequent runs since being identified at this moment. And it is what it is, really. A good performance on the day by Field of Gold to take out the Classic for Classic Watch 25, my own little website. The next race we're going to take a look at was that evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning. And we're going back to Japan now for the second leg of taking a look at our Japanese classics. We're going to take a look first at the Japanese Oaks, which was ran on the 25th of June, I think. It featured our Classic Watch 25 Japanese Guineas winner, Embroidery, lined up. And we also had another 3. We had another 2 that ran in that race, Brown Ratchet and Erica Express, running in their second Classic. And we also had Vip Daisy, who I decided to chance and include on the channel ahead of this race, who also lined up in, I think the race is called the Yushin Himba, isn't it? The Japanese Oaks, something like that anyway. We'll take a look properly at the moment after the race. But first, let's take a look at the third Classic of the video, the Group 1 Japanese Oaks, and then we can see what we think.
Last one goes in, stand by. Group 1 racing from Japan. The Japanese Oaks, they're set. They're off and racing. They got away pretty well, squeezed out the back door Tugano Abbey. The rest commence reasonably well. Tugano Princess goes back as well. They'll sort themselves out. They come to the winning post the first time, and Erica Express goes forward with Leslie Drama, and Saturday Sunrise is up the inside. Also there is Savonlina, and going forward now is Kelly Fled Asked, but trapped out a little wide into that first corner. Back to the inside, Arma Veloce. Its outside is Embroidery. Then Will Survive, followed by Paradis Rhine. Then comes Brown Ratchet. Back in the pack, I Sun Sun. Kamunyak, 4 lengths away. Rave de l'Opera, followed by Lynx Tip. Then Vip Daisy, followed Bellback Taisei Princess. Go So Far, and Tugano Abbey at the tail. They reach the back straight and in front. Rolling along is Keita Tosaki on Erica Express.
We seem to be having a brutal internet attack again. Amazing how many times this happens in my videos, isn't it?
Running third is Leslie
as soon as we start to get a video done, it just don't allow us to do anything. So what we'll do is I will have to pause this video and sort the internet out again after another attack. Hello, everybody. Apologies for that. What I'll do is I think the screen might have gone black to you guys and not shown the race and just the commentary before the internet attack took the sound away as well. So what we'll do is we'll just watch the whole race again, I think, and we'll go from there, and then we will see what we think.
Last one goes in, stand by. Group 1 racing from Japan. The Japanese Oaks, they're set. They're off and racing. They got away pretty well, squeezed out the back door Tuggano Abbey. The rest commence reasonably well. Tuggano Princess goes back as well. They'll sort themselves out. They come to the winning post the first time, and Erica Express goes forward with Leslie Drama, and Saturday Sunrise is up the inside. Also there is Savonlina, and going forward now is Kelly Fled Ask, but trapped out a little wide into that first corner. Back to the inside, Armour Veloce. Its outside is Embroidery. Then Will Survive, followed by Paradis Rain. Then comes Brown Ratchet. Back in the pack, I Sun Sun. Kamunyak, 4 lengths away. Rave de l'Opera, followed by Lynx Tip. Then Vip Daisy, followed Bellback Taisei Princess. Go So Far, and Tuggano Abbey at the tail. They reach the back straight, and in front, rolling along is Keita Tosaki on Erica Express. Leads out now. Running second is Kelly Fled Ask. Running third is Leslie Drama. In fourth position is Saturday Sunrise. Trapped out on a limb there is Savonlina. Beautiful position for the favourite Embroidery. And Armour Veloce is on its inside. Then Will Survive. Well back is Paradis Rain. Midfield Brown Ratchet. Then comes I Sun Sun. Out wide Kamunyak in free air. Back to the inside is Rave de l'Opera. Then Lynx Tip starting a move forward. Back to the inside is Taisei Princess. Then Vip Daisy. Second last is Go So Far, and Tuggano Abbey still at the tail of the field. No change up front with Erica Express leading them on. Leads out with Kelly Fled Ask. Running third still is Leslie Drama, and Saturday Sunrise is there as well with Savonlina's been on a limb. Embroidery's had beautiful cover in between them. Back to the inside, Armour Veloce. Starting to come on is Lynx Tip. Will Survive well back. Up on the inside is Paradis Rain, and peeling out Kamunyak. They've got 450 metres to run, and Kelly Fled Ask goes up alongside Erica Express. Running on out wide is Kamunyak, and joining in is Lynx Tip. Just in behind them is Brown Ratchet. Back to the inside, starting to pick up again is Armour Veloce. Armour Veloce, and going wide is Kamunyak. Is this going to be Andras Starker's first Japanese Group 1? Kamunyak in front, but Armour Veloce is coming and coming hard. Kamunyak in front. They hit the wire. Kamunyak, Armour Veloce, and Tuggano Abbey has flown from the last position to grab third the inside, just ahead of Paradis Rain. Maybe that's a photo. Then came Will Survive. Back to the inside, I Sun Sun. Embroidery knocked up with Lynx Tip. Then came Rave de l'Opera, coming on strong when it was all over. Wider out was Vip Daisy. Pulling up quickly, Kelly Fled Ask. Well back in the rung, Taisei Princess. Brown Ratchet couldn't run on in the home straight.
Wow, what a race there. You thought for all the way, all the home and hose, didn't you, that the one on the far side was going to take that race out. But it was, in fact, the one on the near side that managed to land the Yushin Himba, the Japanese Oaks. Kamunyak, trained by Yasuo Tomiichi and ridden by Andras Starker. Sired by Black Tide, who is a Deep Impact's brother, out of a dam called Dance Amiga, who herself was out of Sakura Bakushino. Kamunyak raced Racing Post rating of 115 for this race. It was the narrowest victory over Armour Veloce, wasn't it? Armour Veloce, trained by Hiroyuki Uemura, ridden by Mirai Iwata, sired by Harbinger, out of Rakuami, who herself was sired by Daiwa Major. Armour Veloce ran to a mark of 114 in that race, and finishing in third place, like the commentator said, coming from last, was Tuggano Abbey, sired by Animal Kingdom, out of Tuggano Tyrin, who herself was out of I'll Have Another, trained by Teruhiko Chida and ridden by Yasuki Fujioka. And that horse was given a Racing Post rating on the day of 112. So Kamunyak, another race that Classic Watch 25 have failed to take out. The best outside could manage was 7th. Brown Ratchet finished 7th, sired by Kizuna, out of Forever Darling. That horse was given a Racing Post rating on the day of 105. Embroidery, the Guineas winner, was given a mark of 104. She could only finish 9th, trained by Katsuomo Mori, and ridden by Christophe Patrice Lemaire. Erica Express set a good solid pace, but she was found wanting at the end. She could only finish 10th. Racing post rating of 103. Trained by Haruki Sugiyama and ridden by Keita Tosaki on the day. And Vip Daisy finished 13th. Racing post rating of 101. Trained by Takeshi Matsushita and ridden by Hideaki Miyuki. 101 rated horse to finish 13th. Very interesting race, the Japanese Oaks. Now, 4 fillies, well, they seem to have rated a few more races now. Like I said, Brown Ratchet given a rating of 90 for finishing 9th in the Guineas and a rating of 105 for finishing 7th in the Japanese Oaks. So I'm still not entirely sure that those can be rated 101 when she won the Group 3 Artemis Stakes back in October. You see there, Embroiderer given a mark of 110 for winning the Japanese Guineas. She only raced 104 when finishing 9th, the classic winner. Just a shame that she couldn't get involved over the extra half a mile. Erica Express was 5th behind Embroidery, a mark of 94, and she was 10th this day, and the Racing Post decided to put her up 9 to 103, as is their right. Don't necessarily say that I agree with it, but yeah, a very interesting performance there to finish 10th. And the last one, Vip Daisy, she was given a rating of 103 when she finished 2nd behind Arma Veloci at 2 in the Hanshin Juvenile Fillies, and she's her 2nd mark there this season of 101 for finishing 13th. In the Japanese Oaks, Vip Daisy was 11th in the Guineas, but she wasn't a classic watch horse on that day. I didn't fancy her over a mile. But yeah, very interesting race. People will see there, the Japanese Oaks. And what's on now, just the final. They've got the Derby to come later on in this video. Right, we're going to skip forward a few hours now, and we're going to go back to Ireland for the 2nd Irish Classic of this video, which was held on the Sunday after the Japanese, after the Irish 2,000 guineas. This race is the Irish 1,000 guineas for 3-year-old fillies. I didn't really make a lot of this race. In fact, Classic Watch 25 only had one horse running for it in this race. That horse was Swelter, the trial-winning Juddmonte filly. So before we take a look at the result and our horse, let's watch the Irish 1,000 guineas and see what we think.
12 fillies loaded at the mile start. That off. They break away in the Group 1 Tattersalls Irish 1,000 guineas, and it is California Dreamer, one of the first to show in front, with on the inside Sir Senny. Right with them is Duty First and Swelter. They're closely followed by Lake Victoria as they organise themselves through the first couple of furlongs. And it is California Dreamer who leads Duty First, Lake Victoria with the nose band Swelter, and then Sir Senny and Simmering. City of Memphis Flight, January in by the rail, and then Atzilla, Jalea and Tamam Desert. Reaching the final 5 furlongs, California Dreamer leads a packing field just outside the halfway stage. From Duty First, tracked by Lake Victoria, Swelter, Simmering. Sir Senny Flight, City of Memphis on the outside of Atzilla, with in a line at the back, January, Jalea and Tamam Desert. Very few changes having passed the halfway stage. The Tattersalls Irish 1,000 guineas, and it's California Dreamer and David Egan leading a length. Ridden in second is Duty First and Holly Doyle. On the inside is Lake Victoria and Ryan Moore. 2.5 furlongs to go. After them is Swelter and Chris Hayes. Then Sir Senny Flight racing inside the final quarter. California Dreamer now being chased down by Lake Victoria. Fading is Duty First. City of Memphis stays on. Then Flight and Sir Senny. California Dreamer picked off by the favourite Lake Victoria, who goes to the front in the closing stages. And it is Lake Victoria back on song in the Irish 1,000. Second California Dreamer, then Sir Senny. City of Memphis running on the outside of Duty First. A marvellous day for Ballydoyle.
Good performance there, I thought, from a filly who I've never really been with, Lake Victoria. But there's no doubt there that she won that one Irish 1,000 guineas, I think, in a fairly convincing manner. it's fair to say. Late Victoria, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by Ryan Moore. Sired by Frankel out of a dam called Quiet Reflection, who herself was sired by Showcasing. Late Victoria given a racing post rating of 118 on that day. She was a 2 1/4 length victory winner, really, from a surprise second place horse, really. The Ammo Racing owned California Dreamer, trained by Adrian Murray and ridden by David Egan, sired by Memas out of Penelope, who herself was sired by Giants Causeway. The horse ran well, but it was given a racing post rating of 111 on the day. And in third place was Cecine, a horse that has since come out and won the Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot to give the form a little boost. Cecine, sired by Australia, out of a dam called Shershen, out of Alclamation, trained by Joseph G. Murphy and ridden by Gary Carroll. Racing post rating on the day of 107 for the Irish 1,000 Guineas third and subsequent Coronation Stakes winner at Royal Ascot. The only horse I had for Classic Watch 25 has to be a disappointment, really. Swelter could only finish 9th, beaten 8.5 lengths, trained by Dermot Weld and ridden by Chris Hayes, sired by Kingman, out of a dam called Hot Snap, who herself was sired by Pivotal. Swelter only given a racing post rating on the day of 96, which was considerably worse than the 110 she was given for winning the Group 3 trial at Leopardstown in March, when she defeated exactly by 1 3/4 lengths. So yeah, disappointed on the day from Swelter, it's fair to say. If I had to probably pick which was the weakest classic we've looked at so far in the UK, Ireland and Europe, I'd say it's probably this one. But time will tell. The next race we're going to take a look at is we're going to go back to Japan. And we're going to go a week forward now, and we're going to take a look in the first day of June. We're going to take a look at 2 classics that took place on that day. Shortly, we're going to go to France and take a look at the French Derby. But before that, we're going to go back to Japan and take a look at the 3-year-old colts race, the Japanese Derby. We had 3 running for us this one. Museum Mile, the Japanese Guineas winner, who actually was identified before the race, but no video was made before the race. So unfortunately, that horse never got on the site in time. Life took over on occasions. We also had a Croix du Nord, who was favourite for the Guineas, 2-year-old winner, and 2-year-old Group 1 winner. And we also had Leela Emblem, who also turned up in the Derby. Before we take a look at how 3 of those got on, let's take a look at the race first, shall we? And we will see what we think.
They're set. Racing in the Japanese Derby. They commence fairly well. Dragon Boost squeezed out the back with Fast Rising, and Toppy Born no speed either. Here goes Take from the wide gate. Saturno Shining races up to take the lead to the winning post the first time, and he's going to be joined by Christophe Lemaire on Shohei in second. Wider out, moving up, it was Ho-Ho Artman, and Quadanor is right there in 4th. Back to the inside is Fandom. In between runners, it's Ems. Outside Ems moving up is trying to pick up some ground there is Fayan Krantz, but trapped out a little wide. In behind them comes Leela Emblem, Giovanni, then Masquerade Ball, Museum Mile. Well back is Readiness. Then comes Kalamatianios. Back to the inside of Nishino Agent is Eric King, Dragon Boost, and Toppy Borns at the tail of the field. They run the back straight in the Derby for 2025. And Ho-Ho Atman, the Yoshito Yahagi horse, leads out by 3 lengths. Leads out from Saturno Shining, running third. Bit of a pull there by Shohei. Beautifully poised is Quadanor. And up running behind Quadanor is Fern Krantz. In between runners is Ems. And back to the fence is Fandom. Wider out, Masquerade Ball, but does have cover. The inside is Leela Emblem. In between runners, Giovanni. Then 2 lengths away to Readiness. It's outside Museum Mile. The pace is starting to click up past the 1,000. Kalamatianos is back in the last third of the field with Eric King. Being passed by Nishino Agent, Dragon Boost, Toppy Born, and Fast Rising is at the tail of the field. The crowd starts to feel the pitch and starting to roar as they approach the home corner. It's still leading out this one and doing it at the moment quite comfortably as they swing for home. Ho-Ho Atman at the 600-metre mark. Leads out from Satono Shining. Peeling out is Quadanor. Wider out is Farnskrantz, and just in behind them is Readiness. Trying to pick up is Ems. Museum Mile stretching out with Masquerade Ball. Quadanor, the favourite, finds the front. Quadanor comes up to Satono Shining. Rattling home, in behind them is Shohei, and coming home late is Masquerade Ball and Museum Mile. It's Quadanor. Satono Shining's coming again. Wider out Masquerade Ball. Quadanor in front. Quadanor will go on and win the Japanese Derby. Masquerade Ball, Shohei for third. Satono Shining fourth. Eric King flashed home out wide. In behind them came Museum Mile. Back to the inside was Lila Emblem. Wider out Toppy Bourne. Then came Nishino Agent. Readiness knocked up in the home straight with Ems. Dragon Boost. Well back knocking up was Ho-Ho Artman. Quickly pulling up across the line was Faust Rising. And the last one in was Readiness.
Quadanor has done it. He's got sweet revenge here on Museum Mile. Always in the perfect position, which he was in the Satsuki show as well.
Very good performance, I thought that was. By the Classic Watch 25 horse, Quadanor, to reverse the form in the Guineas and join the list of Classic Watch 25 Classic winners by taking out the Tokyo Yushin Himba. The Japanese Derby. Yushin Himba is the fillies race, isn't it? Of course it is. The Tokyo race there, the winner, Quadanor, trained by Takashi Saito and ridden by Yuichi Kitamura. Sired by Kitasan Black out of a dam called Rising Cross, who people might remember from the UK Oaks a few years back. Sired by Cape Cross. Quadanor given a Racing Post rating of 116 for winning this race. In second place was Masquerade Ball, another one ridden by a Japanese jockey, trained by Takahisa Tezuka and ridden by Ryusei Sakai. Sired by Duramenti out of a dam called Maskoff, who herself was sired by Deep Impact. Racing Post rating of 113 for that horse. Third home was Shohei and ridden by C.P. Lemaire and trained by Yasuo Tomiichi. Horse sired by Saturnalia and bred out of a dam called Oro Trajet, who herself was out of Offevra. Racing Post rating on that day of 110 for the third home in the Japanese Derby. I think they're way too low, really, these ratings. We'll take a look at how the other horses got on. Museum Mile, sired by Leontes, out of Museum Hill, sired by Heart's Cry. That horse could only finish sixth on the day, ridden by Damien Lane, trained by Dasuki Takayanagi, Racing Post rating of 108. Lila Emblem could only finish 10th, trained by Koshiro Take, ridden by Suguru Hamanaka, sired by Kizuna out of Delphinia, who herself was sired by Galileo. Lila Emblem only running to a mark of 105 for finishing 10th. So all three of ours did finish in the top 10 in that race. But Quadanor took it out. For Classic Watch 25, you'll see he was only given a mark of 103. Safe to say both Japanese guineas were rated quite low. 103 for finishing second in that, and 116 for winning the Japanese Derby, 111 for winning the Hopeful Stakes as a 2-year-old Quadanor. You'll see there, Museum Mile was actually given a £2 higher rating for finishing sixth in the Derby than he received for winning the Guineas, which shows to me really the nonsense of these ratings. 106 when he won the Guineas and were given a rating of 108 for finishing 4 lengths sixth in the Derby. Something obviously clearly not right there. I would rather the Racing Post rating never rated the races rather than just guessed, which is basically what they've done in Japan this year. Lila Emblem, again, was another one. He didn't run in the Guineas. He rated 111 when beating Arta Veloce to win the Shinzan Kinen Grade 3 this year. And then he was given a rating of 105 for finishing 10th, 6 lengths behind Quadanor in the Derby. So, yeah, the Racing Post really just hasn't got a clue about Japanese ratings, in my opinion. You know, there's no way that a horse like Stream of Gold would be that far inferior. Field of Gold would be that far superior to the Japanese Derby winner. It just wouldn't. You know, people only have to look at historical races to know that. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Leela Emblem was quite disappointing, I thought, that day. I quietly fancied it at 76 to 1. But yeah, an interesting race nonetheless, the Japanese Derby. And now we're going to move on to the final classic of this video that took place on the same day, the 1st of June. And we're going to go back to France and we're going to Chantilly to take a look at the French Derby, the Grand Prix de Paris. Not over a mile and a half, over 1 mile, 2.5 furlongs these days. Has been for quite a while, really. Classic Watch 25 had 3 running in it. We had 2 work-time horses that were identified, Sinileo and Nitois. And we also had a horse placed from the French 2,000 guineas that turned up in the Derby for us in the Aidan O'Brien train, Camille Pissarro. Before we take a look at how they got on and the outcome of the race, for our runners, let's watch the race, shall we, and see what we think.
They're off. The Qatar Prix du Jockey Club begins. Trinity College, as expected, pushing forwards down on the inside. Beaumark and also Detain got bright starts from their lower draws. Out towards the right, Qualificar is also pushing forwards in the hands of William Buick. Not far off the speed at the moment, Camille Pissarro's down against the running rail. Ridari hunts them up, and also Sinileo spot the white cap. Frankly Good Sen is in against the fence, racing with Curra Camp in company. As they settle fully into stride, it's Trinity College then who leads the Prix du Jockey Club field. It's only a narrow advantage as Beaumark is right upside St. Pestring and has now just edged on by. So Mark Pond takes Beaumark to the front. Trinity College second, Qualificar running in third, and Detain is next in fourth. Camille Pissarro is in against the running rail in fifth, with Ridari and Luther in company slightly to the outside of that pair. Another length or so away to Frankly Good Sen, who's upside Stepinso and Sinileo. Then King of Cities, Alilali is following. Curracam and Parachutista down the back of the order with Leffard and Hey Betley. Also towards the tail is Nitoir, and Azimpor is just about last of all as runners turn right-handed and work their way towards the final 800 metres. It is Beaumark in front. Half a length the advantage from Trinity College running in second. 2.5 lengths away, Qualificar is in third. Camille Pissarro is hard up against the running rail in fourth position. Detain now gets a squeeze along the pink cap Luther. Ridari a bit trapped in a pocket. Frankly Good Sen is up the running rail. Down the outside, King of Cities tries to get rolling as they work inside the final 400. Camille Pissarro trapped up in behind. Trinity College is still just in front. Qualificar and Detain. Here comes Ridari now letting loose. Camille Pissarro is trying to burrow through up the inside into the last 200. Detain, Qualificar, Azimpor late, Camille Pissarro. The gaps came in time, down on the inside and has burst through in the hands of Ryan Moore. Camille Pissarro had to sit and wait, but it was all worthwhile. Has won the Prix du Jockey Club. Qualificar in second, Detain in third. Trinity College might have just held on from fourth from the on-rushing Azimpor and Ridari. Success for Camille Pissarro. Had to sit and suffer, but has just done enough. Held on by half a length to deny Qualificar in a tremendous finish. It's Moore and O'Brien again. Had to wait. Lots of horses in front. Had to get those gaps, but they came, and has charged through to win it.
I'd say that was a fair assessment by the commentator on the day there. Very good performance from another Classic Watch 25 horse, Camille Pissarro, another classic taken out for the great site. classicwatch25.great/site.net has more than held its own in this little video, hasn't it? It's fair to say. Camille Pissarro, the winner of the French Derby, the Prix du Jockey Club, trained by Aidan O'Brien, ridden by Ryan Moore. The horse sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Entreat, who herself was sired by Pivotal. And Camille Pissarro given a Racing Post rating of 118 for that victory, better than what they gained in Japan. Qualificar was second for Godolphin. The Andre Fabre trained Qualificar, ridden on the day by William Buick, sired by Lope de Vega out of Qualify, who herself was sired by Fastnet Rock. Decent run by Qualificar, rated 116 on the day for finishing second. And third on the day was the Juddmonte horse Detain, ridden by Christophe Soumillon, trained by John and Fady Gosden, Racing Post rating given of 115. The horse sired by Wootton Bassett. So a 1-3 for Wootton Bassett in the French Derby out of Niswiner, who herself was sired by Inticarb. The other horses that we had running for us were quite disappointing. Sinaleo, actually not that disappointing really, for only his second run to finishing 8th in the French Derby, beaten 3.5 lengths. Not a bad run really. But Sinaleo are given a Racing Post rating of 110. For finishing 8th, the horse sired by Siuni out of Solilia, who herself is out of Galileo. And the other one we had was Nitoir. Another horse sired by Siuni, this one out of Lady Zuzu, who is out of Dynaformer. Nitoir given a Racing Post rating of 105 for finishing 13th, trained by Andre Fabre and ridden by Alexis Pouchin. The stable jockey chose Sinaleo, Maxime Guillon. So let's have a look at the ratings quickly. Camille Pissarro is a solid horse these days, isn't he? If you look at his last 4 runs, 113, 114, 116, 118. They've begrudgingly had to nudge this horse up, haven't they? After his first 6 runs, the horse was looking very exposed. Only one of them above 100. I don't know what clicked. Maybe he was ridden by the genius Sumion and that clicked him. 124 to 10 that day, 113 rated. And since then, the horse has held his form and proved that his Group 1 win in the Lagardère wasn't a fluke. He's taken out the French Derby. Sinaleo, 80 on debut. The horse improved by 30 to a rating of 110, finishing 8th in the French Derby. Like I said, quite difficult to call that a bad run, isn't it? The horse obviously loaded with potential. Nitoir, well, not so much. You'll see Nitoir 100 and 102 for finishing 2nd and 1st in listed races and Group 3 races. The horse finished 13th and was given his highest rating of only 105 for finishing 13th, but it was a career best on the day. But if anything, I think the race slightly exposed the horse somewhat. I don't think the horse at any point was competitive in the race. Sinaleo ran a nice race, but Nitoir, not so much. And that's it really for this video. I think we can leave it there. I think a good time to take a break now as we leave May and head into the first weekend of June. We will be back hopefully at some point with some more classic reviews. We've got on the 7th, there was plenty. There was 2 races in Queensland that were abandoned a week that maybe should have been in this video. They were held back a week due to the weather. The Queensland Oaks and the Queensland Derby. Also taking place on the 7th, we have the Belmont Stakes, the 3rd leg of the US Triple Crown. And we also have the UK Oaks and the UK Derby held at Epsom. And then we will probably take a look at 2 more races. We will take a look on the 15th of June. That was the Irish Oaks. We will take a look at that, and we will also probably wait a week and review them next week sometime and take a look at the Irish Derby. Or have we got enough there? How many have we got there? We've got 5, haven't we? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're the next 6. The next 6 classics we're going to review, and the next video after that will start with the Irish Derby, which means that we might be able to treat you all to another review video this week. Too sure that's an interesting. I don't think that Irish Oaks has been ran, has it? I don't really necessarily think that should be there. We've had the UK Oaks and the Derby, the Belmont and the Queensland Oaks and the Derby. Only 5. We'll get some sort of review video out to you, I think. But for now, I think we can leave this video here. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch the video. As always, it's very much appreciated. What we'll do is I'll leave you a copy to the Classic Watch 25 playlist. That way you'll be able to, not the horses, the actual playlist, so people will be able to take a look at all the other reviews that have taken place so far, looking at the great site. And I will also give everybody an opportunity who has watched this video without choosing to subscribe to the channel. I will give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel, should you wish to as well. But for now, I think I can leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody. Hopefully a quiet weekend's racing, a quiet week of racing, hopefully, leading us nicely into the Irish Derby at the Coa the next week. Obviously that race we just looked at was the French Oaks, not the Irish Oaks, on the 15th. So they will be the races that we take a look at in the next video. But for now, I'll leave this video here. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones as well. Have a fantastic week and goodbye.